New Mexico's Droughts by Shaelyn and Daniella. A drought is a prolonged period of low rainfall leading to a shortage of water. Drought's dangerous.
I think what makes droughts dangerous is that when it doesn't rain for too long, it gets way too dry and people go without water for a while.
Do you think droughts are the biggest struggle in this state?
Probably not the biggest struggle. Probably crime, because there's a lot of people that get killed every day.
How does drought relate to climate change?
Drought relates to climate change because maybe it gets too hot and then not enough rain, I guess.
What do you think are causing droughts?
Just like the rain, I guess. It doesn't rain that much, and it just gets way too dry and nothing can grow.
In New Mexico, a drought lasted 329 weeks beginning on May 1st, 2002, ending on August 14th, 2007.
Usually it doesn't really rain and it's usually really hot all the time.
Would you rather have droughts or floods?
I would say droughts, because during floods, depends how much water there is during floods, because sometimes if there's a lot of water, a lot of things kind of get destroyed, or but during droughts, things are just kind of dry, and yeah.
How would you deal with the drought?
Well, I guess there's not really a way to deal with it. You can't really do anything about it. I mean, just kind of hope for the best, I guess.
How can you stay safe during a drought?
Well, usually during a drought, since it's really dry, you would have to drink a lot of water and, kind of be healthy.
New Mexico is ranked 4th in the most driest states. Nevada is the first. Is New Mexico a good state?
Well, it depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking about statistics, no, because it's ranked highest in one of the worst places to raise a family, one of the states with the worst school system, one of the worst states for crime, stuff like that. But I mean, if you're talking to maybe just an everyday person who lives here, depending if they've lived here their whole life or if they moved, some would say it's a good state. We have really good food here, and a lot of people here are really nice, and they like to make you feel welcome. But there's also, like every state, we have our good share of rude people. So yeah.
Which city in New Mexico do you think has the most severe droughts?
I think probably the smaller towns, because they're usually more desolate and smaller population, so I think maybe they don't need as much water, so they don't have that much water as say like Albuquerque and Santa Fe, which are one of the two biggest cities in New Mexico.
Why are droughts a serious problem?
Droughts are a problem because it affects how people can work. It affects our farmers, and in smaller towns, farming is one of the main sources of income for those people. So if they don't have water, then they don't have anything to water their crops with, and that can affect the way they pay for their family, their farmland, so stuff like that.
Droughts are affecting 99% of New Mexico, receiving on average less than 10 inches annually. Are droughts a natural disaster?
Yes, I would call them a natural disaster, definitely caused by weather patterns and that kind of thing, and there's not a lot that we can really do about it. So yeah, I would say it's a natural disaster.
Why are droughts a serious problem?
They can affect our water sources, and they can affect our food sources by being able to grow crops and that kind of thing. So,
how do droughts affect humans?
So again, affecting food sources, affecting water sources. It's a trickle-down effect. It's not just vegetables that we eat. It also affects feeding like cows and that kind of thing, which we also get for food sources.
How do they affect animals?
It affects their food sources, it affects their water sources. Going back to the third question, it can affect the livelihood of people who depend on the land to, live. So yeah, it affects animals because it affects their food sources, their water sources, et cetera, et cetera.
Droughts can cause dust bowls, which can result in the topsoil layer being completely blown away. What other states would have droughts?
Droughts are common in the southwestern states that include Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, parts of California, Utah, some parts of Colorado, but more and more frequently Midwestern states are having droughts. That's like Nebraska, Kansas, South Dakota, Wyoming. So,
What's your overall opinion on droughts?
droughts are typically a normal occurrence, infrequently, but they've been getting more and more frequent. And especially living in a desert state like New Mexico, the less water we have, the more impacts our farming and our drinking water and stuff like that. So it could be bad.
Are droughts a natural disaster?
Droughts aren't necessarily a natural disaster, but they can be if we go without water for a long, long time. We won't have drinking water to grow our crops. In history, droughts have caused the collapse of different civilizations, so it could be a natural disaster, yes.
How do droughts affect us?
Us, so typically, we got a lot of water this year, like rain and snow, or I guess last year. When we've been in a drought, there's been water restrictions where people can't water their lawns, or we're only allowed to use so much water per citizen. Last year, New Mexico actually did really good with that, and we used less water than we planned, but our water consumption and use would be the thing that changed the most.
In the United States, droughts are most likely to occur in the Midwest and the South. What's your overall opinion on droughts?
I think they're bad because we need trees to live, and when our trees are dying because we don't have enough water, it's really not the best thing because then we don't have a lot of oxygen, and people that don't have water need water when we're in a drought. They don't have the water that they need to live.
Would you rather have droughts or floods, and why?
I'd rather have floods because first of all, our trees wouldn't be dying, so we'd have oxygen, and you'd be able to drive a canoe through the roads, and that's pretty cool. And we get to take days off of school. See, when it's too dry, you can't really take days off of school. Now if we have floods, it's too wet to go to school, and we get to stay home and do stuff. Yeah.
In your opinion, does New Mexico have enough water?
I mean, yeah, it does have enough water for me. Restart that. For me, yeah.
In your opinion, does New Mexico have enough water?
I mean, it seems fine, but I guess scientifically proven we've been in a drought for a while now, but for me, I'm fine with water. I have water to drink.
How can you stay safe during a drought?
Just drink a lot of water and stay moisturized.
Thanks for watching.